7:30 after Like It or Not. We'll be right back.
Show?
What's up with Michael Jackson?
The timeline.
All right, thanks so much for joining us. Like It or Not's coming up next. We've got Nick, we've got Bram. What are you guys talking about today?
The timeline on the Michael Jackson accusers from the big documentary that came out, Netflix, right? It was HBO or Netflix?
Yeah, made a huge splash. A lot of people turned on Michael Jackson if they hadn't already.
Guess what?
What?
Their timeline's off.
The
they
accusers.
made some accusations about some of the abuse before certain things at Neverland were built.
Oh.
So the Jackson estate has got some room here to push back.
It looks like foreign media has spoken with that director, and he says, yeah, well, some things were a little bit stretched, but the overall theme still.
The director admitted that things were stretched in the documentary?
Things were stretched.
Credibility just went like that there.
Yes.
All right. Thanks, guys. Looking forward to it.
Like It or Not, coming up next.
So you switched that thing up?
This is Guy.
Tonight on Fox 5, Like It or Not, Fairfax County Police have been collecting your data from license plate readers, but a judge has put an end to it, and not everyone is excited. Plus, the Carter twins have been revealed, but not by their parents. The photo that has people up in arms. And would you bring your baby to work to cut down on childcare costs? That's what lawmakers in California are pushing for. Those stories and more tonight on Fox 5's Like It or Not. What time is it? Guy and Sunny. What time is it right now?
Wow.
We're wide awake, ready to go, baby.
Are you?
It's not morning radio.
Right. Is this 4 in the morning or 7 at night?
We're hanging out with the cool kids. That's what we're doing.
Yeah,
We're here together. We'll see if they play nice together here. All right, welcome to the show. License plate readers, they've been around for decades, pinpointing your location and storing your information, but now a judge is telling Fairfax County Police, you done. Let's fire it up with that. A judge has ordered the Fairfax County Police to stop collecting data from license plate readers, citing privacy issues with the general public and describing the license plate as personal information that shouldn't be tracked and stored in perpetuity. The chief of police is asking for an appeal here. He says this ruling is going to harm the department's ability to investigate a variety of active incidents and crimes. The license plate reader system has the ability to record exactly where and when a license plate was photographed. Before the ruling, police were able to keep those recordings, but now they have to purge the data daily.
Core issue here is we do not peruse the LPR system for mere curiosity or disseminate information. It's for a law enforcement purpose.
This is a win for privacy rights advocates who say police can track their movements with the information gathered from the readers opening the door for possible abuse. The police, of course, want access to all information that helps them stop crime. Take that for data, Nick, like it or not.
I don't like it. And I understand the privacy concerns that some may have, but I feel like they put the block on something that had not exposed itself to be a problem. I'm for anything that allows people to check up on those that may be part of a crime, part of criminal activity, that may be a pattern of crime within the neighborhood. I think there are experienced investigators who use information that they gather to help protect the community. And unfortunately, this is one tool that's been taken away before we've known it to even be a problem.
I completely disagree. I think that there needs to be some type of limit. You have New Hampshire. They have, they keep the information for 3 minutes. Tennessee has 90 days. Colorado has a year. 3 months. And I think there needs to be regulated in some type of way. Like, why do you need to keep this information for so long? There has to be a cap on that.
Yeah, I like it as well. Look, I'm all about taking a bite out of crime, but I got to tell you, this leaves room for a lot of error here. Look, we all got our cell phones. We're all about technology, and technology is constantly advancing. But you have to set the boundaries for the authorities. Quite honestly, this is the equivalent of giving every police officer your ATM PIN number. Not saying that they're going to make a withdrawal, but daggone it, it sure is enticing in order to do so. I don't like it, or whether I do like it a lot.
I see it differently. Your PIN number is done in secret because it's done in secret. It's supposed to be kept to your own. But a license plate's public domain.
It's sitting on the street.
It's sitting on the street. You take a picture of it. If you run a red light or you do something dangerous, a good Samaritan can call you in and tell them your license plate. They can do that, okay? You have a hit and run, they can do that. So I agree, the privacy issue. I don't like the idea of just tracking people to track people. I like to take the police at their word that they're using this for the right reasons and not the wrong reasons, and that feels like public domain to me. So I'm actually on the side of the police here.
Absolutely, I am too. We just had a D.C. council member who lied about who was in his car. He was involved in an accident, or his car was. He lied about it. He purposely misled. Just imagine if cops had an additional tool to actually catch that plate in its position, and it's all because someone else had to take a picture. But if that person had been injured and not had an opportunity to take that picture, we don't know what could have happened. It's just a tool that's taken away that I feel like can help to solve and prevent and be another piece of information to put together.
They're not saying that they don't want to use it or that they can't use it. They're just saying that we don't want them to use it for a certain amount of time. Yeah. And that's what it all boils down to.
There's no reason to have this, information be available for years. Yeah. It shouldn't.
All right. Well, from license plates to baby photos. Today is Jay-Z and Beyonce's 11th wedding anniversary. And instead of showering each other with love, well, they're handing out notices to bloggers who posted a private photo of their children. That's likely got Beyonce saying, uh-oh, uh-oh. Not only does the image appear to be taken from inside their home, it also has been released by Beyonce or Jay-Z. No, it hasn't. That's what a lot of people are saying. You see, the blog Hollywood Unlocked posted the photo yesterday and said they got it from Free-ish Media. Hollywood Unlocked said they have since removed the photo at the request of the Carters. And the page where they got it from, that has since been deleted. Leaking photos of people's kids without permission. Say cheese, Sunni, like it or not.
Of course, I do not like it. Beyonce and Jay-Z are, the king or queen of hip hop, and you cannot do that. And I think we have not seen the twins in a way that Beyonce. She's exposed them here and there a little bit, but we haven't seen a photo like this. And someone actually took that photo. It looks like hanging on a wall in a frame. So that's someone very close. And to leak that, I wouldn't want to be on the other side getting the backlash from Beyonce's fan base, because they go hard. And I feel like someone is getting fired. Beyonce's going to find out who did it. And I look forward to hearing about it. That's completely inappropriate.
I'm with you. Rough year for Beyonce, biting on the cheek. Now people taking pictures inside your home. The deal is, I think somebody tried to take a bite out of Beyonce. Here's the deal. It's I think more than that, it's just an invasion of privacy. Right? Yeah. I have you over to my home. I'm receiving you as a friend or a guest or something, and then you take a picture of something and then you share it on social media. That's just wrong in every form. I don't know how you spin that.
I think you're assuming it's a friend or someone. I mean, there's probably a lot of people that go in and out of that house that are handlers, that work for companies, that are part of production units. I mean, these are very, very famous people, right? You know what? This thing is my best friend, and it's everybody's worst enemy. Because people are just taking pictures of anything they want and posting. It's ridiculous. It's grotesque, really. Yeah. All right, still ahead here. Helicopter parents are so Gen X. The new parent won't stop until their child wins. We'll tell you about that. Plus, breaking news, Jussie Smollett did refuse to pay the city of Chicago $130,000 for their investigation costs. That means he's going to court. And should parents be allowed to bring their babies to work? Fox 5's Like It or Not. We'll be right back.
All right, we're back on Fox 5's Like It or Not. Yesterday, the first of dozens of parents charged in the college admission scandal agreed to plead guilty. Peter Jan Satorino is accused of paying $15,000 to rig his daughter's college entrance exam. The college admission scandal made many people familiar with the term snowplow parenting. Snowplow parents actively try to plow through obstacles so their children don't have to clear their own path. Bram, making things easier for your children, like it or not.
I'll do anything to help my kids get ahead. I don't care what anyone thinks about that. I will not pay somebody $500,000 to get my kid into a university. I find that abhorrent. But, some of these people, and in the case of the person you named, gave up about 15 grand, and you know what? I'd do that in a second to help my kid. I don't care what anybody thinks about that. There's the old saying, get rich or die trying, and if I help them get rich by helping them out along the way, so be it. I don't care what anybody thinks about that. I'll help them.
I mean, I agree with you in some way. I would definitely do whatever I can to help my kids out, as long as it's not illegal, obviously. But I just think that these parents, you have to allow your kids to fail at some point. They have to learn lessons and have to work hard and realize that you cannot just go on with life without having obstacles and always having your parents and your dad and your mom looking out for you. Like, come on. Yeah. You know, I've grown up in a completely different way. So I'm like, nobody has ever done anything for me. And I did a pretty great job. So, I mean, I would do it for my kids, but it's got to have some limits.
Well, Bram, that's why you're the dad of the year, man. You get that award. Look, I'm not a parent, but I am a very involved uncle, and I believe that with success, you have to have failures, as Sunni stated. And that's what it all boils down to. Without those failures, you don't know how to be successful. There was a time where I had a number of interns. I would baby them. Oh, it's okay. A very successful mentor of mine said, Guy, what are you doing? You're supposed to let them fail. You're supposed to teach them when they fail, so when they leave here, they too can be successful. Without that, you're not doing them any justice.
I always say we're coddling kids.
Yeah.
We are definitely coddling kids nowadays.
We may be coddling them, but I mean, I think this conversation isn't about like doing everything literally for them, but taking some of those obstacles out of their way to make life easier for a better path for them. I am all for that. And I honestly don't care if I get criticized for something like that. I will do anything for my kids to help them succeed in their life.
Oh, Bram loves the kids. Well, still ahead, the believability of HBO's Leaving Neverland now in question. This after Michael Jackson's biographer claims that new evidence disproves the abuse allegations. Fox 5's Like It or Not, we'll be right back.
Welcome back to Fox 5's Like It or Not. When HBO's Leaving Neverland documentary aired, some people questioned its accuracy. And as your mom says, always trust your gut. Jackson's biographer Mike Smallcombe says the account given by one of the accusers is factually incorrect. James Safechuck alleged Jackson sexually abused him at Neverland's train station from 1988 to 1992. But the biographer says that train station didn't open till 1994, and he came with receipts. To support his case, he shared these construction permits to Twitter, showing the train station was approved in 1993 and opened in 1994. Social media is sounding off, saying the director lacked due diligence, but the director claims that the evidence still supports the allegations, airing before vetting. Sunni, like it or not.
Oh my God, this is so irresponsible. How did they not know this information? Like, how long did it take to make this documentary? This was a big part of the allegation about this train station. And then all of a sudden for them to come out and say, hey, oh wow, that didn't happen. Well, it didn't happen during that time. But then again, the victim, is that the time frame? Maybe it happened later on, and maybe he just remembers it being from this time frame. It's messy. I feel like someone's getting sued. This is going to bring up a lot of issue about this documentary.
That victim didn't forget. Michael Jackson is in his grave saying he all the way. Look, this is just downright wrong if you look at it. We put Michael Jackson in the same category as R. Kelly about a week ago. I couldn't drive down the street, roll down my windows, and listen to Michael Jackson. Full disclosure, I'm his biggest fan, because we looked at him differently. Now this comes out? I mean, you have to be sure before you actually release things like this. And that's why, as of right now, I'm not saying he's guilty. I'm not saying he's innocent. We can't say anything. The man is dead. Let him rest in peace.
I'm with you on most of that. I think this is troublesome, okay, because that timeline is off, right? And that's big detail to say this happened in this place that didn't exist.
Oops.
Okay, that's a big problem here. I do know, though, that this happened a long time ago, and these people are trying to recount things that happened 20, 30 years ago, and quite possibly just got a couple of dates wrong there and a couple of very minor aspects of it wrong, and yet the bulk of what they are saying is actually true. I mean, I was talking to somebody the other day who had said something happened in New York. He remembers it like the night and day because the Knicks were in the finals, and he named the wrong year because it was the OJ year. And I go, well, that didn't happen that year. And he's, oh, yeah. So I'm just saying our memories can slip in certain ways. I'm not saying this is not really troublesome, though. Really troublesome.
I believe, and I've said this before, I'm a true Michael Jackson stan all the way. I do believe, however, that those who claim to be victims of abuse deserve a space to be heard.
Absolutely.
And I stand by that. I just find it problematic that someone would move forward with the documentary stating this as gospel truth without vetting the information.
Yeah, it is really, it's bothersome. Okay, guess who else doesn't have his timeline right? Jussie Smollett. One of his Empire co-stars says he is going to be back on the show next year. Good thing, because he's going to need some money to potentially pay a big bill. The city of Chicago says Smollett has now refused to pay the more than $130,000 that they demanded they get back to reimburse costs of investigating what authorities say was a staged racist anti-gay attack. Officials say they are going to file the lawsuit in a near future, which would go into a civil court. The lawsuit could lead to a drawn-out battle in court that could end in a trial that's focused on the question of whether he actually did or didn't orchestrate this if he were to testify on his own behalf. It's right out of an episode of Empire, guy, like it or not.
What is Jussie smoking? The Empire ooh-wee? I mean, this guy has lost it. Look, I'm not a lawyer, but if I happen to be his lawyer, first thing I would have said is, show me the money. The second thing I would have said, pay up. You got to do that. Look, as you stated, Bram, he thinks this is an episode of Empire. Well, there's going to be a bad ending to this. When it comes to a civil suit, one thing it boils down to, the proof of burden isn't as hard with a criminal case. So with a criminal case, you got to prove A, B, and C. Guess what? Civil suit, you just got to prove A. And Jussie didn't want us to see all of that alleged evidence that he says didn't happen. Well, in a civil suit, that alleged evidence is going to come out. He has a tough road ahead of him.
I want to see him sit there and tell me how he believed these two Nigerian brothers passed for white boys wearing MAGA hats.
Right.
Because he says, I saw the white skin underneath the eye.
Well, his lawyer said that they wore white paint.
Yeah.
I mean, that doesn't make any sense. But they have a new mayor coming in Chicago, May 20th. So the mayor might be just end up dropping all of this. So they're saying that may help him out. But this is just so crazy to me. This guy is just, this whole thing is like you couldn't script it better. Like, I really don't know who to believe, but I think.
Oh, I know who to believe. The entire city of Chicago is who I believe. That said, I don't think he can pay this, actually.
Yeah.
I think he did the right thing because if he does pay it, he's admitting guilt.
Oh.
He has maintained his innocence. If he pays them $130,000, it's not his. If he's saying I'm innocent, he can't pay them $130,000 for doing an investigation that he says shouldn't have happened in the first place.
You pay it so it goes away, Bram.
Okay, but I want to know, why were the charges dropped?
Oh, we all do.
Yeah.
I think
Like,
everyone
that
wants to
is
know
just
that.
the craziest
Yeah.
thing to me. Why was it dropped?
Yeah.
He's not compelled to testify. See, that's the thing. You can get him in civil court. You can sit there and you think, oh, I'm going to have this aha moment, and he's going to really tell me what happened. He doesn't have to do that. He could sit there and say, I rest.
Right.
And that's it. Prove it.
Absolutely.
And he needs those two guys to prove that it happened. I think it's a bluff. I think they're just trying to get the money back from him. Everyone knows he did it. And they're trying to get the money back from him, and they're not going to get it.
They're not going to
trying to scare him. They're trying to scare him.
The money.
Yes.
He's not paying that.
No.
Have to wait and see. All right. Well, moving on to a man who sparked the civil rights movement. Today marks 51 years since Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated. On this day in 1968, Dr. King was shot by a sniper while standing on the balcony outside his motel room in Memphis, Tennessee. He was there to support a strike by sanitation workers. His very last sermon given just the day before. He was 39 when he died. Today, AMC theaters across America, including a few in Virginia and in Maryland, are hosting a free screening of an MLK documentary called King, a Film Record, Montgomery to Memphis. Now, today's all about honoring a man who paved the way for racial equality. Nick, like it or not?
I love everything about this, right? I think that it is impossible to navigate the United States as a black man and not recognize the power and influence and the hope of America, right? I do know that there are problems, and I do know that there are things we all still struggle with, and we have difficult and uncomfortable conversations around race and where we are as a society, and there's more that we should do for our LGBT, our trans brothers and sisters, black, brown, gender nonconforming, everyone. But the very idea that we are having or trying to have these conversations, that we're able to move and give representation on a platform like this, says so much about his dream being realized in so many different ways. I'm inspired. I'm hopeful. It gets me emotional because I just love what we can do as a country. As a veteran, as a service member, I met people that I never would have met in different walks of life, but the military brought us all together, and I'm just proud to sit here.
Yeah. I was watching a part of his speech that he did the night before, where a lot of people said that he was alluding to he was foreshadowing that something might happen to him. And it just broke my heart. But I do feel that I like the direction we're going, and we have a lot of work to do, as we see in the news every single day. So
There are a lot of millennials right now. A lot of kids are saying, honestly, who is Dr. Martin Luther King? That's real. He's not on TV anymore. He's not on your cell phone. He doesn't pop up on Instagram or Twitter. This will actually introduce them to that man that did a lot of great things. Good stuff.
Well, coming up, how would you feel if your coworker brought their baby to work every day? Yeah, it could soon be allowed and be a law in California. But is it a good idea? We'll talk about that when we come back after the break.